Hello, this is Aditya Joshi. A few good friends of mine made me realize that not everyone knows Hindi, and this video will be in English so that I can help my other brother and sisters. Look, I'm an MD first in Philippines. I'll be very honest with you. And if you're thinking about coming to Philippines, whether it is in BS or in MD, you should seriously reconsider your decision. Second thing is, a lot of students ask me about MBBS abroad and why I keep on saying that MBBS abroad should be your last option. I'm still very open about it and I'll tell you why. Look, MBBS abroad, no matter which country you're talking about, no country will finish your MBBS in less than 7 years. That is the minimum duration that you'll have to go through for your basic MBBS degree. Second thing, no country in the world will cover your MBBS fees in less than 30 lakhs. That is impossible. If anyone is saying that this country will cover everything from your living expenses to your tuition fees in under 30 lakhs, that is a lie. My agents first told me that MBBS in Philippines was less than 30 lakhs. And that was a major mistake on my part because I believed them. You know, I calculated how much money and budget I'll have to make because I pay my own tuition fees, so you can understand how hard it is on my shoulders. I calculated and it is reaching around 55 lakhs in Philippines. So 55 lakhs in Philippines minimum, that is just for MD. I've excluded whatever I spend in BS. So you can imagine how expensive the living expense is in Philippines. My monthly expenditure was around 30,000 INR there. Secondly, I would like you to know that no country in the world provides a better clinical experience and exposure than in India. There are definitely language problems all around the world, even in Philippines. Even in the countries who say that majority of people are fluent in English, there will definitely almost always be language barriers. Lastly, I would like to tell you that, look, there are three major requirements that you need to have if you are really stubborn and want to go for MBBS abroad, or if you have no other option left and you think MBBS abroad is my only hope at becoming a doctor. Number one and most important is it should follow NMC rules, which are you should have 54 months of MBBS, that is theoretical. That means 4.5 years of studies. Second is you should have an internship, and third is you should have a license. That's where this new notice which was issued by Indian Embassy in Philippines a few days ago comes into play. You'll notice that in that notice they have written that the people who are studying in Philippines will not be registered, registrable, will not be provided a registration number, will not be given a license, everything. They used every word and alteration that people have been using for years, whether it is registration number, registrable, license, whatever. MBBS in Philippines is invalid as of now. Second thing I would like you to know is a lot of people are saying that if you go to MBBS abroad, then it is easier to go from abroad to abroad. That means the ultimate goal of a lot of people is USMLE, MRCS, PLAB, and New Zealand exams. So I'll tell you this honestly, it is not easy. A lot of people debated me in the comment section saying that the passing ratio is 65 to 70% and will be able to crack those exams. And Philippines is valid for USMLE, Philippines is valid for PLAB, or Georgia is valid for PLAB, and every other thing. I'll tell you, it is not about the country, it is about the college you're studying in. That should be a primary focus. You know, they have these organizations who conduct these prestigious exams of USMLE, PLAB, MRCS, and all those things. They have their own websites, WDOMS, WDOMS, or FAMER, FAIMER. You could just hit those up in your search engine and they'll ask you in which country you're studying, in which state you're studying, is the school operational or not, and what is the name of the school. You write your med school's information there, and if it is showing in their list of enlisted schools, only then you are capable and what do I say? Only then you are eligible to give their licensing or to give their exams. Second thing is licensing part. Look, a lot of exams, a lot of these kind of exams, UK and US exams at later stages are definitely gonna ask and inquire about your license and why you don't have a license. So that's why it is very essential to hold a license in your hand before you sit for these exams. Now you don't need a license for PLAB, but PLAB is not a PG exam. A lot of people confuse PLAB with post graduation. That is not true. PLAB is just a licensing exam. Once you sit for PLAB, you are eligible to be registered as a doctor in the UK. That means you can work in hospitals, but you can't study for your PG. You can't study for higher education. You have to work for 2 years in FY1 and FY2 years, which are basically shadowing period behind the doctors. You'll observe what is happening and you'll work in the hospitals as interns. After that, you will be eligible to sit for MRCS. That is the main PG exam in terms of UK. And if I talk about USMLE, you will notice that USMLE does not require a license initially, but later on it does require a license. And it is not just about clearing those exams. You have to score very good in those exams. You have to clear your English proficiency tests. You have to have a very good backup. If you're not able to clear these exams, what will happen? Will you be able to come back to India? Will you be eligible in India? You need to have license. I already discussed about that. You need to have a very strong portfolio and CV. That means they'll look for experience, they'll look for research work, they'll look for extracurriculars, they'll look how many marks you're getting in your med school. Now, in order to show that you were a really brilliant child in med school, you should be able to first show them that you scored really good marks in exams which are conducted in med school. Now, if proper exams were not conducted in your med school, then how will those marks be eligible to give you points? That's my main concern, because a lot of these schools, what they're doing is people are cheating, or they are just passing the whole batch or failing the whole batch and doing some sort of shit which is not acceptable and will just downgrade your play at those exams by a significant amount. Another important point is, a lot of people told me that if you study in Philippines, which has BS and MD, which is similar to US pattern, you will get credit points and it will be easier to crack USMLE exam. That is a lie and a misconception, and I tell you why. See, US pattern states that you need to have 4 years of BS and 4 years of MD. The subjects which are studied in BS should be pre-medical, that is remotely but related to medical. Also, in US you have clerkship, not internship. And now Philippines will be providing internship, not clerkship. Now, what is the difference between internship and clerkship? Because these things are also mentioned in PLAB and MRCS websites. That means if you want to go for PLAB, MRCS, New Zealand, any other thing, you need to have internship, not clerkship, except for US. Now, the difference between these two is, clerkship is usually included within your theoretical periods. That means during 54 months, if you're doing anything in the hospital, it is included in clerkship. Internship is separate. After your theoretical part is completed, you are eligible to do your round duties at hospitals and go for internship. Now, Philippines used to have clerkship. That means during those 4 years of MD, it was inclusive of theoretical 3 year and 1 year clerkship. That's why it was invalid in India. And now what they're doing, they have changed that 4 year of BS and 4 year of MD into 1 to 1.5 years of BS, 4.5 years of MD, 1 year internship, then 1 year to 1.5 year of, 1 year to 1.5 years for licensing, and then 1 year internship in India. That's why it is not following the US pattern, and you won't get any credit points or any extra edge in USMLE exams. Now, a lot of people also asked me, Bhaiya, what would be the minimum duration of MBBS abroad? So I discussed about that, 7 years, and what will be the budget. So for Philippines, I'll tell you 50-55 lakhs. For Uzbekistan, I'll tell you 30-35 lakhs, maybe 50 lakhs depending on where you live, how you live. Georgia, 50 lakhs. And a lot of patients, a lot of students are telling me that, Bhaiya, we could do our MBBS abroad under 30 lakhs, it will come under budget. That's not true. That's not true. I'm warning you. So what should we do? So my point was that if you're ready to have a budget for around 65 lakhs to 70 lakhs, then don't go for MBBS abroad. Instead, do private from India. You won't have any problem in license, you won't have any problem in clinical exposure, you won't have any problem in language or anything else. Lastly, I would like to tell you that, look, now FMG has been removed. FMGE is no longer there. Neither is NEET PG. Now the only thing that remains between you and a PG seat is next exam. It is a very good thing actually. I'll tell you, apart from the fact that you have to do extra 1 year internship in India, it has nothing wrong with it. Because this next is ensuring that you get an equal opportunity as someone who is studying in AIMS. Now I'm not talking about AIMS roster and those kind of stuff which are definitely there in PG. That's a separate issue. But at least before next exam, all of us are at the same level, whether we did our MBBS from government college, private college, MBBS abroad, or any other thing. We all have to sit for next exam, and depending on how well we score, we could get a good government college, even AIMS Delhi is also possible. So that's a good thing. You don't have to clear FMG then NEET PG. You just have to clear next. That's it. Not clear, you have to score very good marks, but still that is a very good possibility and a very good outcome is possible for you. Okay. Lastly, I would like to tell you that no doubt from wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I know a lot of people are feeling those stress and anxious moments right now. Parents are in deep anxiety as to what they have to do. A lot of people are talking about transfer and where they have to go. So I'll tell you, do your research very well, and best option would be to come back to India. If you can give NEET, then give NEET exam, NEET UG, and then take a seat in India. Because if you give a NEET exam in 2024, still it would cost somewhere around 6 years, right? 6.5 years, nothing more than that. It would still be less than MBBS abroad, which is costing you 7 to 8 years of your life. The highest, how do I say it? The most that you have to pay for MBBS abroad is not your money, it is your time. Remember that. I hope this video helped. If you have any other query, you could just type in the comment section, or you could hit me up on Instagram. My ID would be there in the description box, and I'll try to get back to you with whenever I get time. I'll try to help you with as much as I can. But take your next steps very carefully, okay? Very carefully.